Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. And I don't need that to be quite so loud. There we go. Good morning. Oh, let's turn the cam on.
Horace said good M.
We'll turn the cam on later. I'm gonna eat some food here in a second anyways, so let's pull our chart over. So if you recall, on Friday, we had the non-farms number. We moved up, and then we had this chop, and I just got diced up there. And then after I left, we had another move up. Now, since then, we've kind of come back to this area, which sucks because that's not a spot that I necessarily want to trade. And then here, the E-mini is significantly lower than it was on Friday. So once again, we get, there appears to be some stress in the equities market, and bonds are not necessarily moving quite the way that they have in the past. So it seems to me like there's definitely some risk out there, but they're not going into treasuries. And I'm not quite sure what's going on, but very clearly we've had difficulty adjusting to this market. So I'm going to be playing it very safe today, but I will be preferring longs for sure. And more crypto spam. All right, and then let's take a view for the week. It's Monday, of course. There's never anything interesting on Mondays. But this week we do have some significant numbers like PPI, CPI, import prices, inflation. I mean, this is our week. So I might not even take any trades today. If I do, there will be very small ones, and we'll be hoping for some good moves next week. And then the week after that, it's auction week, right? No. 30-year German. Oh, beige book next week. When is the auctions then? Wait, do I have it? Yeah. Maybe is it the week after that? Or maybe did we already do them this month? None. Bonds. And show like this month. Okay, yeah, we already got them last. Oh, no, wait. Oh, so they have them this week. I just missed it. Wednesday and Thursday. Ugh. So this is going to be very tricky. Okay, well, it's going to be interesting week. Now, I didn't pull out the links, so let's do that. So let's do that. That tells you how far delayed we are. This is Forest Guy. Good morning, and I'm going to give you permissions so that you can post pictures. And your name will be blue. And so somebody yesterday, and I don't think he's going to be in here right now, but it was asking, how do you guys handle trading non-farms payload or the non-farms number? And my answer is, if you've never traded it before, you should just sit on the sidelines and watch a few times. But other than that, you just treat it like any other news event. You take note of what the expectations are and what the market movement slash positioning is going into the event. And then I tend to have a bias going into the event, but we just wait to see what the initial reaction is. And if it starts going through levels, then we try and go with the flow. But it's the same signals that we get in a big news event. So, okay, so that was a pretty solid uptick there at 2.9, but we're like right at this level that's kind of given us trouble all night. So this is not a good spot to be taking along unless we see a really strong level break signal. Anyways, so I'm gonna eat a little bit of food here before things, really get going too much.
Tucker said bless from earlier, trading NFP is just like any other day. The news is at 6:30 my time, so I wait till 6:40 or 45 to start trading. The action is almost always great on NFP, and I'd say
Okay, well, that was a pretty quick move back to the VWAP, and I wonder, I mean, if we had traded that counter trend, which is absolutely not what I do, and I didn't see any level 2 signals there, I just knew the level, and it came back. Could have made money, but not my trade. So kind of interesting, but this is kind of leading me to think that if there are going to be any good trades here, they're going to be range day trades, and that we might have to trade against the VWAP to make
Tucker
money.
said WTF was that? Sell and a one lot trades back into 280.
Right. That really looked to me like when we first came in here, something pushed us up to the 29.5. And when we were there, nobody was interested. And a bunch of people that were long on that trade puked. Look at the cumulative delta here. I'm gonna post it in the chat. Well, now they're pushing pretty aggressively down to the bottom. I have to wonder. There are some pretty good levels down there. Now, why is this one? That's really weird. I'm gonna refresh this chart because that's not right. Well, I don't know why it does this. I must have some setting to do it on the weekly or something, but it says that there is a point of control around 26. Oh no, wait, that's the E-mini. That's why. Dar, 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 dar. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there was this move up on the 6, 21, 21.0.
Tucker said stalking short, looking for expansion past ONL.
I think that moving this down there is highly unlikely. But let's watch and see what it does. I mean, if it starts breaking lows, we have no choice but to follow the strategy and start taking shorts. So and it was really ZF is the one that's really moving us, which is good for a downtrend. I'm gonna let it develop a little bit though. It's too low of a probability trade for me to take. Although the risk reward definitely looks acceptable.
Alligator said sentiment much improved since Friday, 220 possible IMO. Alligator said Trump and analysts' comments this morning. Alligator said rhetorics should stop and talks start.
Okay, so it's now starting to give me a signal to go short at 27. Problem is that if I put an order in there, I think at this point I may not get it. I think that now would be a good time to just sit back and watch, because there was this big move down in ZF and now it's kind of coming back. We should get an iceberg here somewhere. Oh, see, they just took it down. Wow. The other two aren't responding to it much though. There it went. Let's see if we get a fill. So did you see that bid at 26? There it is again. Is puffing itself up. I wonder if Tyler's can he come in and wipe him out. I find this unusual because what it's doing right now really looks to me like the beginnings of a possibly strong down move. But it's happening in, what has been relative, a place where I'm expecting it to be relatively calm. So that is definitely something. I mean, the thing is that if it actually does develop into something, it could really go, because, just because people aren't expecting it, it's kind of the best trades are the ones that few people see. Not to say though, I think we have a good probability at 25. Yeah, I think we have a good probability at 24. And you notice here on the level 2, all of the numbers are below us. So I think that we should get a new low, but I'm not so sure about that 22 that Alligator is mentioning. That seems a bit rosy, but we'll see. This action right here, they didn't really trade that many to get through here.
Tucker said bought 265 a few minutes ago when 2500 plus dropped onto it without it going offer. Got out for a scratch. Waiting to see the response at 260, and whether or not the 6000 bid holds or pulls.
I didn't catch the 2500 dropping. I did catch that 26 dumping on there as like a leaner level. But you notice that it didn't take a whole lot to trade us back up to 26 half. And then, the 27 immediately looked weak, but hardly anybody has actually taken it. Now, they could easily just decide to tick up, but something tells me that there's a reason they're not doing it. It's gonna flip here. If we get another strong tick down, then I think that we could be golden. Nope, they're just playing games back and forth.
Alligator said IMO depends on equities, again.
Okay, so they're a little stuck here, although we are still getting a bit of selling. It seems to me that ZF is kind of in charge here. And ZF had a pretty, we had this move down. It tends to move in these kind of 2 to 4 tick ranges. So it would not be unusual to see 09.5 before it dumps. But to see a move like that, and with the ZF being the driver, and notice here also, ZB has been buying through all of this. So what does that look like to you? They're selling the short end and they're buying the long end. That's flattening. Usually we just see it between ZN. Move this over a little bit. That little white line, it just drives me crazy. There we go. Let's see. We're already selling through the 26.5 too, pretty strongly. There is an iceberg there. So given that action, I think that this would have to be like really turn into a real trend for us to get paid here. Because you already have people are leaning on 26. There's definitely more interest short in ZN.
Tucker said probably pretty equity driven, yeah. Especially with Friday down so hard in the equity space. Funny my 265 buy would still be staring at scratch. Market has been motionless for these.
Okay, so that was a reasonably good tick down. But like we said, it, there's a lot of people leaning on 26. So we would really need to see some further imbalance to come in to push us through, or maybe we would just need, like Tyler or somebody to come in and wipe out 26, you know?
Tucker said, damn. Nobody going for 260 seconds.
No. Okay. Curious. So is ZF trying to get above 09 and struggling? I think chances are it will make it though. Yeah. Okay, so we're coming up on our stop. Oh. Well, so it took us on 4. Nope, I don't have it open. Yeah. I mean, that sucks because I definitely knew that it was happening when we ticked up that time, but then it was like there was there was no way that I was gonna get filled on the bid, right? I should have just clicked out, but I was like paralyzed. So now it kind of seems like ZB is winning out here because ZB was going up the whole time. And we could definitely see the 29 to 121 even. I'm not seeing targets necessarily there though, so that's interesting. Oh, and while all of this is happening, the E-mini actually did start moving down a bit. Reopen. Well, if it stays true to its behavior so far, it's just going to turn around right here at 29. So I'm not going to take long here. That was a strong uptick. I'm a little cautious because I can see this going one of two ways. One is when ZB is leading us up, that can be seen as a flight to risk. When people are really scared, especially when they're scared of it, like a recession happening, they tend to flood into the longer dated bonds because there's better better probability that they get better interest rate down the line than on the short term, if that makes sense. But it could also be flattening, right? Now, normally when you're flattening, we move down and ZB just doesn't move down as much. So for it to be moving up.
Tucker said anticipating break of overnight range now, waiting to see if somebody really starts to lift the 290s.
Yeah. So the way that this is done, it could still be either or. I think when we were down here, we were relying on these orders, and that's still there. So I think even though that particular signal didn't work out in our favor, because really what happened was we got the signal, we took it, and then there was another signal the other way, and I probably should have just gotten out right there when we saw it lift at 26 like Tucker did. But and then when it came back down again, I think maybe I should have tried it again, but yeah, I should have gotten out. There was an opportunity to get out, and I didn't. I still wanted to see the probability of it going down. But I'm just saying the signals that we saw, the other things that we saw that was saying maybe we go down. Okay. Targets are still there. Spread still says we're flattening, especially in CB. It still says we could go down. And I still see the E-mini possibly retesting the previous day's close up to, around this point of control right here, 2633. Yeah. And so it may yet break a new high, but I'm more interested in seeing it go down. I don't see enough for me to take this long. I guess the one thing you could say that could be support for us going long is just the overall news has been bad, and it didn't go as far as it should have on Friday, and I guess we could say that there's some room for it to continue moving up. Mm. Okay, so 23 seconds ago, ECB's Draghi confident inflation will rise, but sees uncertainty. Where did it go? It just moved on me. But sees uncertainty over the degree of economic slack. That might be a driver. Okay, so that was 2 ticks down real fast. I don't want that. That was me right there. I don't think that's a good thing. Is the market reacting to that druggy news? Was that them moving down off of that druggy news? Hmm. Well, they aren't exactly pushing now that they're at the VWAP, are they? And ZF, the 5-year is kind of sitting there even. They seem to think that this is fair. This offer is firming up.
Tucker said maybe. I think that everybody saw the overnight range though and were waiting to make that play. I think folks were leaning on 300s to stop and hoping that somebody stepped up to crack.
Okay, so that's a good downtick.
Alligator said don't think draggies, bond less volatile. Agree W leaners.
Okay. I don't know, guys. It was almost 4K now, just went into 27.5 and hit the iceberg. That is more, that if that's happening at the VWAP, that means that there's probably more than enough contracts out there to bust through the 26. That doesn't mean that they'll decide to do it, but it's on the table, I think. We need this to break down in CF before anything happens too crazy. It's slowly firming up, but just a little bit, so it's not a big... Probably nothing. This is broken down a little bit now, so that's good. That's more significant. Now, in the meantime, this move did not correlate with the move here. This is all treasuries. I think that when I'm in a trade and I caught the edge, or I'm like one tick profitable, is when I feel the most nervous. It's almost like if it goes against me, I've kind of already accepted that this could be a loss. Whereas right now, it's like it could still be a winner, or it could break even, and maybe I should just get out. But I still see the trade in my favor, so I don't want to. And why should I get out when I have the edge? And okay, so that's getting a little better. Yep. Not a super solid downtick though, unfortunately, in ZN. This needs to firm up. ZB took a dive there though, so that's good. UBS to stop sending research data feeds to Bloomberg and others. Oh, that's so sad. I don't know what that means. Why would they do that? Okay, now interesting that now at 26.5 that there's 5,000 people on it. But they had 4,000 going into the one. Cumulative delta in ZN actually isn't that far unchanged. We're only 6,000 contracts down now. So I would have to say there probably is enough contracts out there for us to go down and bust it. But why would they do that with 5,000 sitting there? What's their incentive to do it? We need these to tick down and drag us down, I think. Or maybe the E mini to start pushing up, which actually it is starting to do. So I don't know what the deal is with the euro here, but you notice it's been doing this all morning through this whole time we've been trading. It looks like a very significant move in the euro. Okay. Another tick down. That one was much more solid. But it took a lot of contracts to do it. And a lot of contracts, pushed back. So I think that the leaners are still there. Hope you're still there playing that it's going to turn around at 26. US dollar limps as New York trade ramps up for the week. Is that maybe why we're moving down? Is because so this is the one part of about treasuries that the correlation that I still haven't figured out really is how it is correlated with currency moves. So if the dollar index is going down, does that mean that treasuries will tend to go down as well? I don't know. That's the only thing I see really moving that could explain. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that, because the other thing that could explain what's going on is just technicals, and we're just leaning on these levels. If we bust through 26 here, though, then we have to say, okay, the only thing I see going on right now that could explain this is the move in currencies. And my understanding was that treasuries and 6J always tend to be correlated. But I think that's just because 6J, it's like a flight to risk, maybe? Hmm. Oh, did Donald Trump tweet something? Let's add another column here for Donald Trump.
Tucker said from a simple macro standpoint, dollar bid means people are buying dollars to then purchase US Treasuries. I'm sure it's much more nuanced than that though, so take that with a huge
grain of salt. Yeah.
Alligator said they can buy stocks too.
That's what I'm thinking there in chat. Was saying that means less people want to be in the dollar than if they don't want to be in the dollar, then they wouldn't want to be in treasuries either, right? So then treasuries would tend to move down. Especially if this is like, especially if we're like in, a slight risk off mode, but you still wanted to play this tariff war thing, then you would want to move over to the euro to play that. And so that could significantly affect the demand in treasuries. I don't know. That was a lot of selling there for sure. But are they actually going to bust through this 26 here? I mean, it looks awfully menacing, doesn't it? They're actually iceberging at 26 half, so we may actually get a level break set up here. I'd say if it gets over 3 to 4, then that's could be a real level break signal. Not enough volume for me to recommend taking that unless it's like really strong. But for me, where I got in at the VWAP, I think that we have a good chance of busting that. Also note that at one point it was like, what, 6,600, and now it's 58.38. So I feel like I don't feel like that number is there because somebody wants to hold price, if that makes sense. I think that's somebody wants to take profits. They pushed through him. It could keep going. So I feel okay. So we got to keep in mind though. I've been a little bit greedy as of late, and I always tend to think that it's going to go through. So I think I need to be cognizant that this might be a place where my perception of it might not be accurate. So I think we have to lean much more on the currency move and how does that affect us? Is it affecting us? Is that what's moving us down? Or is this something that hasn't been priced in by treasuries yet? Okay, so they ticked up. And that was a pretty strong uptick too. Lots of selling back.
Tucker said equity open in 2.
Let's pull up the E-mini, of course. I really have to wonder if they're not going to come right out of the gate and start buying it in the E-mini. That previous day point of control just looks way too juicy, you know? Okay, so there's still some strong selling here. Wow, and really strong tick down. 2,300 put on the down tick. They sold 23 and they offered 23. And there was a tick down in ZF as well. But CF they're both like right on the edge of, you know, the last ticks. So it's like 50-50 as to whether or not they go through at this point. Now there is a lot less there at 26. There's only 44 contracts there. Okay, so here comes the E-mini. Initially, some buying. Yep. Yeah, fighting it, but it's making a little bit of progress. Yep. Slow progress up.
Alligator said looks risk on.
Yeah, okay, so there was a slow move up and then quite a bit of dumping. Let's pull up the cumulative delta here so we can see that. Oh, where is it? There we go. Okay, so there wasn't delta in that dump. No. Even though it went down, it didn't make a new low in delta. So buyers may still have it. Well, as soon as they got to that VWAP, somebody really tried pushing it there. And meanwhile, in Z, and that offer is looking solid. No, as soon as I say that, it pulls. Okay, that is very curious. Yeah. And only 22. New low for sure now. Now, the weird thing about that one was we're sitting here watching the E-mini thinking, okay, maybe the E-mini is going to move up and treasuries are going to go down. But treasuries ticked down, but the E-mini is not moving up. They're still fighting and trying to push lower. Fighting quite hard, in fact. Okay, so big order showed up there at 26.17. So do the treasuries know something that the equity traders don't? Or are the treasury traders making some other trade completely unrelated to the E-mini? Oh, that low looks awful weak now. Okay, now they're back in buying mode. Yeah, I think they should bust that high now and run. I shouldn't say things like that because I'm not a good E-mini trader. I don't really know what it's going to do. I guess it's a good record of my thoughts and opinions on it. I think that they're going to run. Okay, so they just ticked down and ticked a new low finally in ZN. Okay, so now I'm noticing that was a significant sell in CN. That must have been down. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that was cray cray. That looks like profit taking to me right there. That was a strong move up and they still did not break the high. What's with that? This feels an awful like that trade where you're waiting for the E-mini to do something and then it does it and you don't actually get paid. Though I don't feel like I got into this because of something I saw in the E-mini. This sure does look like that would be a good spot to possibly get out. Okay, this is definitely reacting to the E-mini.
Tucker said great absorption opportunity on the lows. I was bid a tick below and ended up being late to the party.
Yeah, I'd agree. Well, and the E-mini is looking weak at the moment. Oh man. The seller's really starting to win in ES. Okay. We should have done this much earlier. Okay. And what's 6E doing? Coming off. Well, are they going to try and take it lower? In ES? Why am I... Doesn't make any sense. I'm reading something wrong in my charts because there's the one day, there's the other day. Those don't line up. There's that drop I saw. Am I just missing a day on this chart or something? I refreshed it and it didn't do its thing. This is on the regular session, so that must be why they're different. This is a problem I've had in NinjaTrader many times, where like days are missing. Curious, so we're at the 26 again. E-mini potentially pivoting here. Could explain.
Tucker said stalking short again. ZN really doesn't like trading 275.
No. Maybe we should do it on the daily chart. That looks more accurate. So slight uptrend on the daily chart. 2650 would be the place that they would have to test. Okay, so I was reading that right from this one. Because didn't I say 2650? I guess not. So there's some days missing there. That's what's going on there. So we're just going to keep the treasuries on. Okay, there's some buying. So 4 ticks risk, about 10 ticks, well, no, sorry, 8 ticks profit, so our risk reward is okay. Probability, I don't know what it is. I think that we got a good volume signal there. I don't know if it's enough. Maybe the probability there is the weak component of this trade. Okay. I think we got had on that one. Hmm. Okay, so there's your buy-in again. Fighting the VWAP. So this pivot's not useful anymore. This 26 is like fair. Wall Street obsessing over Xi Jinping's speech tonight for clues on what happens next. Okay. There was a strong bid showed up there in ES. Kind of triggered a little bit of movement. There's a lot of this that's not necessarily positive because they're really going to have to push. Wow. $5K. Okay. They're going to start hitting the 25. Yeah. So now if the E-mini gets above this point of control here, where all those shorts came in, yeah, then we really could get us the 22. Sellers are still being insistent. They're not letting it go. Look at how nicely that cumulative delta tracks it though. Pretty equal here in the level 2. And a lot of trade happening at this spot. I think that's some good support for it to continue moving up. Okay. A good hit there and it's held. Ooh, I didn't see that. That's a pretty good short. There you go. Okay. There's still some shorts to wash out. Yeah. Look at that. Okay, now all of the shorts are washed out. So now they're probably going to go to the overnight high 26.28. I see quite a bit of profit taking here. Well, this would be a spot to get out at. Just because there's the big order and there's a lot of volume going into it in front. F5 is looks. Oof. I don't know. I mean, if it breaks it, it's going to be a 10K. And usually when we see a 10K and they push through, that is trend. Trend on a Monday is like...
Tucker said stoked, my short 260 gave me +3 on the 245s.
Did you already take it? I guess you got out at the 245? See, I'm always just like a step slow. Because clearly with 5K trading there, that was a spot to get out. And now I'm going to get out at
Tucker
24
said,
half.
yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, he took it. Now, if I got out at 24 half, there would have to be 8,000 traded there. And if they're going to trade 8,000...
nearly 6K traded on that 245 bid.
Now, if they trade 8K, what are the chances that they keep going down to alligators 22? You know? Hello?
Laptop.
I put it away because I have to take it to work. Oh, just leave that here.
I didn't charge it all day yesterday.
No, but I have a charger at work.
Oh.
Thank you.
Come on.
Anyways, so I'm thinking that I should just wait and see if they take it down another tick, and if the E-mini keeps pushing.
A couple of ticks lower means IMO that big players will hop out and sideline, wait to see if it cracks again. If 8K IMO solid absorption. Though we're not seeing any backticking, right?
That's interesting. Well, so Tucker's saying that we're not, since you're not seeing the backticking into 25, that's a good indication that they're not done. Because I've never read too much into when we don't see backticking. I always feel like that whatever it does next is just random at that point. And it's when I see a lot of backticking, like it moves up, there's backticking, it moves up, backticking. That's when that to me is like a really good indication of trend. But I kind of see the logic that he's using in saying that, you know, certainly nobody wants to buy it, or at least they don't want to buy it at 25. So that means that the sellers are in a stronger emotional position. I certainly sound relatively upbeat now that I have a winner.
Tucker said not even 250 more, like they didn't buy up and go 255 bid, so it's probably somebody sitting down here trying to fill a position, but not actively charging for the exit. The ABS/backtick.
Right. Yeah, you're saying that the people that are getting out at 24 halves are very likely to be profit takers. And not somebody trying to play some huge reversal. I mean, again, it's really hard for me to say because I haven't
Tucker
been...
said also 5880 sold into 245, and not even 1000 bought into 250. No huge aggressive buyers.
Yeah. Okay, so they traded 76 to bust through it. I think we could have some more here. you know, we've seen some strong downticks, but I haven't actually seen like a panic stop run type of a thing yet. I don't know, it's hard for me to at the moment because I know that this is the spot where I always screw it up, right? Not taking the profit in the right place. Okay, 45, 45, back up, and no strong bid. They take it down again, probably. Maybe we take that. I mean, this is where I don't get out fast enough. The thing is that I'm just looking at this, you know, my market profile here, and like that looks to me like they should be coming back down to this point of control here at like 21, 22. But like it's a range bound day, so like I don't really know like what is the probability that it actually gets there or not. How do I tell when's the right spot to get out? Okay, well, it seems like there is interest at 24.5. See, for me, I like it when I see all this volume trading here. Because that means that there are people willing to take both sides. And if we just had a relatively strong trend down,
Tucker
and then we reach an area like
big
that.
Absorption right now. Apologies if I'm cluttering up Discord, but when 30,000 plus bought into 245 and it's now bid 245, that feels like a temporary end of movement to me.
Yeah, well, I don't like that there's 35.74 now on here. So I kind of feel like the E-mini, well, so the E-mini did break the overnight high, just barely, and is pulling back. I'm wondering.
Tucker said LOL whoops, meant 3K not 30K.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they have another leg in them or not. What was I saying just before that? No, this looks more and more to me like this is something that should just continue trending, but there is a lot of absorption there. I mean, it's a Monday, so I'm sure that there's going to be tons of people just looking to play it counter. Okay, so they did take it down again. So I'm more concerned about that. I mean, that's an okay. You know, it's a pretty good offer, but you know, to take out a 53, we're gonna have to be at least 3,000. So what's the chances that it ticks back up again? Yeah. Okay, so now nobody wants to put up much either way.
Alligator said stocks driven IMO, careful here, possible move back into range ES, although NQ powerful.
Yeah. So I was saying like the E-mini might have another leg in it because they just kind of barely busted the high. And then maybe they, okay, let's put an order in. They just barely busted the high, so I would expect them to come back here to the scene of the crime and range around a little bit, not see any big sellers come in, and then push up again. That's what you'll often see in the E-mini. Oh yeah, so I was saying it like in market profile, think about like I can't show it on that chart. Can I show it on I don't know where to look. Well, I'll just try and show it on the ZN. we opened up, below this volume in the yesterday. So if we were to start trading in through there and we stay in it for like 30 minutes, what is the chances that it goes all the way through? Right? And that's one edge that I know for sure from reading Mind Over Markets. That's one of this very specific setups that they talk about in that book. So I do think there is a probability of the E-mini continuing here. Does not look too good at the moment, does it? Well, if that gets filled, I don't want it. ECB's Constancio. High costs explain most of German banks' low profits. I wonder, something I should look at here is John's notes. What levels was he looking at in ZB? I don't see him. He hasn't posted it. Nope. In the E-mini we got like something that looks like a Head and Shoulders top, but the volume cumulative delta isn't actually showing like accelerated selling over here or anything like that, so I don't think that's a valid signal. Here though, we definitely missed opportunity at 24.5 to get out that we should have taken. And it showed it to us several times. Ugh. Yeah, so they're really gonna suck to get like +4 and then not take break even. I mean, can I even get filled at... The thing is if I can get filled at 25.5 or at 25, then we're back in downtrend. So at this point, it's like break even or hold on. I'll look at the ZB here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it went and touched that 21 and they got pushed back down. So that may have actually have been the flip. And it's 6 ticks. So I think I want to hold on here. And the cumulative delta chart here is very interesting. Oh, that was an awful uptick. Oh. That was so bad, guys. That was so bad. Oh, Jose Ponton asks, is that Jigsaw? Yes, it is. Have Jigsaw, and then the charts that I'm pulling over here are Ninja Trader. Da, 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 da. Okay, that right there. What's with that? That's bad. Okay, E-mini came back to where the initial breakout was, and now they aren't sure what they want to do. ZB now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still 6 ticks. You're gonna give it 7. Lots of absorption here. Well, that was curious. Not a good sign for us, though. They're probably gonna sell again. Oh. Ah. A lot of absorption there in ZF. Seems to be the big... I am using Rhythmic data and through AMP Futures is where my account is at. And yeah, I've never had it freeze up on me ever. I think one thing is that the demo data, like especially the demo data that you get if you sign up for like a NinjaTrader 8 demo, when you get like really, really big moves, sometimes NinjaTrader 8, that's when you'll get it. It's like they'll throttle their demo system when the biggest stuff happens. But there also used to be a bug in NinjaTrader 8 that when those things happened, it would pause, and they fixed that a long time ago. So yeah, I've never had problems with it in day trader and Rhythmic since I started the account. Okay, well, I like that downtick even though it's not a strong offer. Okay, well, the offer is solidifying. Rhythmic is raw data. I'm not sure what you mean by raw data, but yeah, I mean, I'm basically getting every level 2 change in every order, but they do filter it somewhat, is my understanding, because if we've had other people in the channel on CQG, and sometimes the numbers that we get are a little bit different. Like sometimes the number of trades that go through and stuff are a little bit different. So maybe that's what you're talking about. Well, I really liked that downtick, and I really liked the offer that it was putting up for a moment. And then, you know, it ticked back up. And now there's 26, so now it's like the other way. It was like a good tick up with the strong bid. So I'm gonna have to say, call that one a wash. Here's this high volume area that they were stuck at before, that I think that they're yeah, no surprise that they pause at, but that there's a high probability that we push through. Since we weren't like immediately rejected. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Curses. Hmm. Yeah, some data is not trade per trade. I hear Rhythmic is pretty good even for high frequency trading. Yeah, I think Rhythmic is pretty good. The only
Tucker said Seth B/E on what was a 3-tick winner.
yeah, I know, right? Well, oh wait, so let me answer his question first. Okay. Well, this is starting to get random. Yeah, so what has happened to me, and this has happened to me several times, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do about it, but I'll have something and I'll be like, okay, I think I want to get out now, but there's no way for me to get filled on the bid, and I just don't have the heart to just click out of it, because I could have taken the +2. So I need to work on that one. Because it's like, okay, I got +4. Oh, it's not going. Okay, I guess I could get +3, and then all of a sudden it's back to break even. Yeah, so what was I going to say? Yeah, the one thing that I don't like about Rhythmic data is that you get an extra commission put on it for the routing, which adds up. So I don't like that.
Tucker said it's not always just about the price. It's about the order flow at the lows.
Yeah. Well, because it definitely gave us a signal at 24.5, right? I mean, the thing is...
Alligator said seems ES pullback's over.
Yeah. Did we just get out at... where did we get out? It was 26. Oh my gosh, did I... Okay, hold on. I need to focus here, guys. I feel like... I don't want to click 25. So maybe I'm right. I think that I shouldn't have gotten out there. But it was ticking down really strong, and I was scared, and I just didn't want to lose the break even. But look, I could have gotten the +2 now. Okay, so there's a good uptick. I mean, we're still okay on trades. I had a winner. Oh, I did have one loser. I take that back. I had that one loser at the beginning. But we could still take one more. It's 822. I need to pay attention to that reverse counter trend period that starts at 8:15. Anyways, yeah, so when we get the absorption at 24.5, you know, especially after a move like that, I can't confidently say that it's going to go through or not. You can say that often it's a good place to get out. Like it's a decision point, but it could still go through. And
Tucker said,
at the time, it really looked like it was going to go.
Original +3, then bought it back, taken +2 into your B/E zone, and have resold it and B+1 again.
No, well, I wouldn't. There's no way to take that many. No, what I should have done was, I think it was okay to wait and see, because we broke through the 24.5, and they actually even put a decent
Tucker
offer
said,
on it.
Obviously, hindsight is 20/20ths, but
Yeah.
my point is that you're giving away a lot of trades into B/E.
Yeah, exactly. So they busted through 24.5. They put a good offer on it, but then it didn't go. And then I should have been like, okay, I need to take this off. I should have taken it off at 24.5. And then I'm not sure that I would have taken another trade up until maybe I would have taken another one when it got back to the 26. Or maybe I would take one around here. But then I think that I screwed up even bigger by letting it come back, be at break even, and you know, letting myself become a little bit unfocused and taking it off right when I should have been putting it on. Because I would clearly be +4 and possibly the +8 that I've been looking for. So that was the bigger mistake, I think.
Tucker said moving stops to B/E is almost always a losing prospect, especially from a psych standpoint.
I don't know. The way that I tend to do it is if it clears my 4, I always move it to at least break even. Because really, if it comes back on you, if you get +4 and then it comes back on you, it's not trending. So why would I still want to be in it?
Later. Off to work now.
Yeah, I'll catch you later. I suppose, though, you can always, depending on how strongly you think it's trending, you know. Now, if I had taken the 26 again, I think that I should be considering taking it off right now. Because the E-mini is not telling us if it's going to continue on, and Treasuries look random. Oh, somebody did say something in Twitch that I didn't see. I'm not, so for those of you guys in Twitch, I don't catch the chat there as much as I do on the YouTube or Discord. Definitely, if you want me to see something, you should say it in Discord. But they memed us to ask, do you think the SPY is going to spend today recovering from last Friday or continue to fail? And I'm going to say that based on the action at the open, I think, and what Treasuries have been doing, because the volume has definitely been down for the most part, I'm going to say that I think that the E-mini will move up and retest levels from Friday. But I also think that there are probably some people over in China sitting and looking at this right now and being like, oh, they're not scared anymore. We need to ramp up the rhetoric again. So it's a little difficult to rest easy in this market. Here, now that it's at 25, it's hard for me to say what it's going to do. There's a really big iceberg there in ZF. Like, massive. I know, so there are some targets above us now. The E-mini looks set to break a new high, though. They sure look close, don't they? There it is. Super sucks, right? I think that I'm so mad at myself right now at taking the 26 off and then it immediately going right as soon as I get out. I mean, that was just a really bad exit, and I'm so mad that I don't think that I could even take another trade now. At this point, like, and like trust myself because I could be tilting. That down tick, I thought like, ooh, that looks good. Maybe I should take that one. It didn't, and it ticked down. Now the E-mini is really going. E-mini is really going, but treasuries aren't actually letting down. Well, I'm so mad. Maybe, I mean, I did see something there at 26 when it was break even that scared me, right? I said, oh, I think I can get out here. Maybe I should just do it. And then I started yapping and it moved down. Like I was thinking of selling it at 25 too. Though I have to say, it did kind of just move down inconspicuously, didn't it? Maybe there was a signal that it was going to do it that I missed. So maybe I should be chalking this up as a move that I can't necessarily take full advantage of. Or if I had stayed in, it would have just been luck. I don't know. It's a tough call. I mean, it is a Monday. It's not like we're reacting off of any news or anything. I think I should have been, I think that the right answer here, after thinking about it a little bit more, I think the right answer is that I really should have been exiting anytime that I saw significant absorption. If I had done that, then these would have all been winners, right? Of course not this one, that was a terrible trade, but this one I would have gotten 4, and this one I would have gotten 4. So it would be plus 4. And I possibly would have taken another trade, and I haven't seen like
Alligator
super
said during the
strong.
pullback. Too bad, I understand, but it happens. At least you were in the right direction and out without damage.
Yeah. And maybe if I had taken another one, maybe I'd be getting out now. But yeah. Yeah, let's see here. Hmm.
Alligator said true.
Yeah. Well, lesson learned. I've kind of been trending that way anyways, and there was a time when I was very much like that, and then we kind of entered into the trending markets, and I think I kind of just got away from that. But I really should be like, it's a Monday. The market has been trying to stay range bound, and there was definitely people playing the lean. Just because you were right on one breakout doesn't mean that you should keep it. And when I saw the absorption down at the bottom, I should have gotten out. And I think that that's a really good lesson that will help me a lot in the future. If I can just kind of keep that in mind. Well, they're looking like maybe they want to level break this now. It's weird. I just want to look here because I want to make sure that we have plenty of buffer. Ah, here we go. Okay, so yeah, we're okay. So we're at like 750 right now. So I just want to make sure that there's enough buffer that we can take these trades this week, and hopefully we have a good week. And I do feel like I'm improving and learning a couple of things and getting back into my groove. And I do think that the market movement is improving for sure. I mean, today was definitely, it seemed like a different action than the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, doesn't it? So that's good. I don't see any other questions in here. I see Mike be typing. He must be typing up something like super huge. So I guess I'll wait. I have a friend on my weightlifting team, a girl that just started lifting a couple of weeks ago, and she didn't have a Facebook, and I was making fun of her for not having a Facebook, and it looks like she added one today. Yeah. Good for her. They're still typing. I'm gonna wait, I got time.
Alligator said equities need a rest. Now it will be hard to touch 220, probably over for this leg, maybe better this afternoon. Alligator said T-bills auction.
When everyone finds value in the same area, no one wants to push outside that area. Therefore, you see fewer breakouts, less follow through on breakouts when they do happen, and a general lack of activity. That's been happening a lot. But I think that, we were looking at the ADP last week. You're saying, oh, maybe it's dead because of ADP. I think that it was dead also, though, because we have all of the inflation data is this week, right? It's usually like the first week, isn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. But, with that in the front view, what else was going on to really push treasuries? Equities action bumping us around, and what did we do? We basically bumped around based on the E-mini randomly, and it's really hard to trade, and it sucks. I really think that tomorrow, if the CPI data, actually tells us something, and hopefully it does tell us something, and I think it probably will, but that then becomes, something that can really move us, and we'll have much better action. Okay, well, you mean you just had a little stop run there and pushed all the treasuries down. You could maybe take a short here. It's just been hard, I say another thing. I want to say on one hand, we're like, oh, I traded like really awful, but on the other hand, I did trade my strategy well. I had the direction correct. I thought it was short. That one went against me. Oh, well. Then it was correct. I got that one. I took it off. I caught this one. I mean, like, I was doing great. I just wasn't catching the edges. And then on a range-bound day, on a Monday, that's kind of expected. I'm not that good at it. It's really competitive. I shouldn't beat myself up too bad about it. And really, when I caught this one, 27.5, and this came back to within 2 ticks, I could have kept that. I really could have just kept that. And then the same one, the 26.5, I could have kept that as well. So, just little mistakes, but actually not terrible trading. Okay. Well, I don't know if Mike is ever going to finish what he's typing, or if he's listening. So I am going to, I'll definitely see it though when I get back into work. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope that things go better for us then, and we're still in a safe spot, so I think we'll be okay. All right, later.